Nathan, probably best not to dwell too much on the match in midweek, but I'd just like to ask a question about Jack Butland. As Andy Quire's been coaching him from the day he came to this club, he's probably best serviced and in a position to know what the problem is, if there is any. Has he said anything to you?
Look, we communicate every day, and much has been highlighted. Any goalkeeping error gets highlighted because usually it leads to something more than just an opportunity, you know. And because it's Jack Butland and he's so high profile and he's, you know, England's number 2 and so on, it gets heightened even more. And then with the media speculation around moves and windows and so on, it's just snowballed and stuff. Look, Jack's a very, very good keeper. Goalkeepers make errors. Jack's made, you know, a couple of uncharacteristic ones, so we can't dwell on those, and we have to make sure that one, you know, we move forward from them, but we also move forward and positively as a team.
To be fair to Jack, it wasn't just Jack that made those errors.
No.
There were a lot of defensive mistakes before that, which I'm sure you've seen on several occasions looking back.
Well, look, there's been errors, and that's what I'm saying, they highlighted. I mean, we've had 14 shots on our goal so far this season. 10 of them have gone in, which is an unbelievable stat. And look, we have to be better individually, but collectively we've got to be better, and that's what I'm trying to calm down a lot of the euphoria, or if it's a witch hunt or whatever it is. Yes, keepers make errors, but to get to those things, to get those shots or chances, a lot has to happen, and it has, and a lot of negative stuff has happened. So we have to make sure that the team collectively, we cut out those, we defend better, we become a little bit more solid, and then go from there.
How is the mood in the camp? Because obviously Wednesday was a disaster.
Look, I wouldn't call it a disaster. It's a defeat, and it's a tough defeat to take for you know, especially for someone like myself, who because we needed him. But it hurt them, it rocked them, because they didn't see that kind of performance coming. Because generally we've been decent, but they come back in today. We train here. We're bright, and look, they're good players. What they need is just something to turn, and only we can do that, because luck won't do it. If we keep creating the level of chances and so on, then look, we'll take them and get goals, and then hopefully we can build on that with clean sheets and good defensive performances and get a win.
I've asked you about the system before, and people have suggested that the system isn't suitable. But when you make mistakes like we have been making, as Stoke have been making as a club, you must first look at the personnel and wonder if they understand the system. Have you had chats with them this week?
I don't think anyone's carving us open. If we were getting carved open and we were getting, ball was switched play on us, and people were scoring from crosses and so on, but it's not. You know, we've been defensively really good, so you can blame systems. And look, and I'm not one to beat my head against a brick wall. I believe in certain things, but it's not a system I believe in. It's a philosophy of play, and we have to defend better now. But if I'm honest, at no point have we been ripped open by a wonderful footballing side, and I think, 2 Saturdays. One was we turned the ball in the corner, we didn't defend it well, he was hooked back in, we didn't defend that well, and then a poor shot went in. The goal after was a punt downfield. So no matter what system you play, I could play 10 at the back. If you don't head the ball and you let the ball bounce and you put people under pressure and then you don't defend your box well enough, you could play 1-9-1, but you'll still lose games. So look, it's we'll have to look at everything, and we do. We're very thorough. So if it means a change in shape, we will do it. If it means a change in personnel, we would also do that.
A lot of people will expect a massive change in personnel tomorrow, but that along brings its own problems, doesn't it?
Well, when you make changes, they have to be the right changes, they have to be correct changes. So they're not changes for change's sake. But we'll go into the game tomorrow with a side we believe that can compete with a very good Leeds side, and that's what we'll pick.
So on to the game tomorrow. Excuse me, it's top against bottom. Sadly, we're the bottom club at the moment. How do you feel that we can cope? Because Leeds are going very, very well.
Well, look, Leeds have a way of playing. One, you have to make sure that you know how they play, you combat that, but then you also play to your strengths as well, and we have real good strengths. As Leeds and Fulham, statistically, as you said, the best teams in the league in terms of that, as point-wise, that hasn't been the case. So we know we can compete with them. We know we have players that can compete with Leeds. It's just we have to prove that on a Saturday.
And how are we injury-wise after 2 tough games?
Yeah, well, look, as we were really. It's a tough game to bring people in who haven't played and so on, but no real issues really.
And looking for positives from the game, Nathan Collins looks a very special player in the making. We've talked before about how important it is when you're young not to damage people mentally and physically by playing them too soon. But do you think maybe it's a time now for him to come into the team and give the fans a lift?
Well, look, when it's right for him to come into the team, we will decide on that. And I said, I think we've given him a 5-year contract. We given him the armband win against Wigan. We think very, very highly of him, and we believe he's an excellent player. I thought he was excellent when he stepped in. And look, at times that freshness gives you a lift. So look, we'll look at that. And if it's right to play him, then we will, because the boy's ready, he's unfazed by things. So at any point I want to put Nathan Collins in, I know what I'm going to get.
And we're coming towards the end of the transfer window. There's still senior players that presumably the club would like to get out. But some of the under-23 players like Butland and Sorenson, are you planning to let them go out on loan to give them more experience, or are they very much part of, and even Danny Jarvis, are they still part of your thoughts? Look,
without giving too much away, we think that Jarvis, Dunwoody, Sorenson probably need a league club now to loan, to get experience, to develop and to get exposure to what it takes. So they're ones. Thibaut's right in between, to be honest with you. He's very much part of our training squad and stuff, and I'm reluctant to let him go out on loan. But we have to look at his long-term future as well. So that's a real tough decision. So if something comes in that's really appealing, then we might go with it. And I said, there's the others we're looking to move out. That's an ongoing process.
Okay. And when you look at the fans, we talk about the fans quite often now, but tomorrow there'll be nerves all over the place because the fans are worried. You look at the table, things aren't going the way they are. I know that you have to provide a positive approach, but you're probably hurting as much or more than the fans. What can you say to the fans tomorrow? Let's say things don't start great. What can you ask them to... Do they realise, do you think, how much their support means and how much we need it?
I think they do, because look, let's look on the positive. Let's look that we do start well tomorrow, and let's look we start on the front foot. Then we get them with us, and let's look at that. Really, we're hurting. I'm hurting. Look, regardless of why, pride or professionalism or whatever it is. Look, I hurt with every defeat, and where I am, I didn't envisage us being where we are. Now we have to react. We have to make sure that we stick to process, do things better, and eventually you get what you deserve. Now if that in 4, 5, 6 games time is similar to what we got, then we're doing something fundamentally wrong. At the minute we feel we're on the periphery of doing things right and not, and there's that final sort of 15-10% that we have to improve on. Now, the fans are key to it. They've been brilliant, they really have, and I can't ask them for patience forever. But right now, we need them with us. We need a good crowd tomorrow. We want a positive result, which will sort of kick-start us a little bit. We thought we've had a couple of kick-starts really with performances and so on. We haven't quite got what we felt we've deserved. Now we've got to start getting points rather than just saying, well, we're a hard luck story.
Thank you.
Cheers.